Yeah, welcome to Redmen TV. It is the player rating show after Liverpool have just drawn 1-1 to Aston Villa. I'm just going to get into it, no one's bothered. Alisson Becker makes a really good save in the first half. I think it's from a free kick that they do. Ramsey just runs off absolutely everyone, and thankfully he only keeps it at 1-0 instead of 2-0, which ultimately helps us get the point.
It's an absolutely world-class save. That shot should be a goal. It is a goal for, I'd say, 19 of the other 20 goalkeepers in the league. It's superb. It keeps us in the game. He's nothing he can do about the first goal. He's obviously makes himself big for the penalty. Whether they got in the head of Ollie Watkins or not, I'm not sure. But there were a couple of times where he had to come out, whether using his head or using his feet, and he was just as comfortable, as cool and calm and composed as he ever was. I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
Yep, decent. Moving on then, I'll go to Trent. Wasn't his night. Wasn't his day. Let's be perfectly honest. The thing that frustrated me most, we got a free kick in the last minute of the game. He put it right at the keeper.
Well, the number of crosses in general that went right at the keeper today was disgraceful. It was the delivery was really poor. It's almost as if we didn't know Emiliano Martinez is 6 foot a million or whatever he is. Listen, that's going to happen with Trent in that position. He's not a player. He's going to play it short, 5 yards every game, and have 100% pass accuracy, because that means you're not trying to make things happen. He's gonna try the ball over the top. He's gonna try the ball in behind. He's gonna try and play that $1 million pass every time. And there are going to be games, unfortunately, where it doesn't work for him. This was one of them, but ever since he's played in that position, he's been incredible, so we'll not be too harsh. But on today's performance, to say 5 out of 10, he wasn't good.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Virgil van Dijk, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really remember much of what he did in that game. Do you?
I think at one point in the first half, I think it's Jacob Ramsey or possibly Bailey's running in, and he gets back and he makes a challenge. I'm not sure. It's hard to say, because we both watch the game from the top, don't we? And it's one of those where, we have so much control of the ball, but it does feel like they have 3 or 4 chances in each half. And who's responsible for that? Is this a systemic thing? Is it the leader at the back, or could he be doing more? I'm not sure, but from what I saw today, just 7 out of 10, absolutely fine.
Yeah, Konate, same again. Don't really think he did loads wrong. I mean, the back post goal, which we haven't mentioned, Trent doesn't have a clue that maybe someone needs to tell him, I'm not too sure. Doesn't have a clue that Ramsey's behind him. Maybe that's one of the centre halves, midfielder Henderson, to point out to him, I'm not too sure. As for Konate, Aston Villa, we didn't really let them do too much. They didn't challenge us really. They put themselves about and they put themselves on the floor. But I can't remember much of our 2 central defenders really having to do a lot.
It's one of those grey areas, that goal, isn't it? Because when we're in possession, Trent's in the midfield, and therefore if the possession is turned over quickly and there's a ball into the box, Trent quite literally can't be in 2 places at once. So, is it on Konate to get out to right back? He plays sort of in between the 2 positions at times. He did that in Paris as well, where he was man of the match. He was incredible, but whether it's his responsibility or not, I'm not sure. There are a couple of times, and the thing about Konate is he's so quick and he's so strong that you can leave sort of one-on-one at the back with him, and you can trust him to come out of it on the better. And I think he did get the better of Watkins for most of that game today. Although he gives away the penalty, doesn't he? He does. Sorry, we forgot everything here. It's been a crap day. He does. It's bad. He's left exposed because Trent is in the midfield, and that's nobody's fault. That's just the system. So
it's a clear pen as well. I'm not too sure why the cop was fuming at that point. I mean, maybe it was just the referee. Moving on, then Robbo gets substituted. We couldn't create a lot, let's be honest. Every ball into the box at the first man.
I'm still trying to work out what Robertson is in this new Liverpool team. You get frustrated at him for not getting forward, but if Trent's playing in the midfield, he can't get forward. Otherwise, we're leaving 2v2 at the back or 2v3 at the back, and that can't happen. So we're going to just need to watch a little bit more of it, actually see what his role is before we really judge him in this. I don't think he did anything particularly wrong. 6 out of 10.
Fabinho then, once again, it was just a case of Liverpool had loads of the ball, aside from them also being on the floor. Wasn't horrific, he wasn't brilliant, he gets a yellow card. It's just one of those days for everyone.
I think the 3 midfielders you can almost bunch in together.
Let's just do that. Curtis Jones, Henderson and Fabinho, none of them stood out.
Yeah, definitely not. I thought Henderson was quite poor at times. Some of his delivery was very poor today. Curtis Jones probably performs the role he's asked to perform and has been performing in the last couple of weeks, but in a frustrating game where you're looking something else for your midfielders, you're probably asking more from him. But is that the responsibility of the other 2 rather than him, because he's performed his role as he has been? I'm not sure. I thought Henderson's quality was really poor, and it's, listen, Fabinho at times this season he's come back into it and he's played well. Curtis Jones has had a renaissance. Henderson, for me, hasn't been as bad as everyone said, but he has had a bit of a drop off from last year. for me, you can sort of give them all sort of 5, 6 out of 10 and just say, listen, we need at least 2 in there for sure.
It says something when I saw Cody Gakpo going at left centre mid and thought he was the best midfielder on the pitch because I'm on the half turn. I thought he played better there than he did up front, to be perfectly honest, but we'll get to that in a minute. Mo Salah gets an assist, but I thought he was awful today, I'm going to be honest.
Really, really frustrating. Again, one of those players who's always going to constantly try stuff, and he's going to be the man who we get the ball to, and he's going to have to take them on, and that's difficult. And there will be games that out of the 10 take-ons you try, probably 9 of them will be unsuccessful, and unfortunately it was one of those today. Ashley Young, a couple of times at Manchester United, has had the better of him, and he had the better of him today. It was a shame. We did isolate him one-on-one at times. It wasn't one of those games where they had men back and 2 men on him. We did isolate him one-on-one. He just could not get the ball done quick enough.
I don't care what you say, he's an unbelievable player, but he does not use his right foot. He can't stand it. There's so many times where he'd actually beaten Ashley Young, but then cut back into him because he wanted to use his left foot, and you're like, lad, no, just try and do something on your right. But whether it's not strong enough or he just doesn't like using it, I'm not too sure. But he did get the beating of Ashley Young several times, but would then just cut back because you knew that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, but he epitomised a frustrating performance. The end product wasn't there until the assist for Firmino.
And it's a great assist.
It is a great assist, and his playmaking ability has come into play this season. We have seen it, and we have seen his assist tally go up. And he has just such an intelligent brain when he's in those positions. But listen, it didn't come off for him today, like a lot of the players. 6 out of 10, and it happens. Unfortunately, when you leave yourself 9 games to win, there is going to be the odd game where you just don't get over the line, and sometimes we draw, and unfortunately we couldn't afford it given how crap it's been all season.
Yep. On the other side then, a player who very much got pocketed as well, Luis Diaz. He's only just coming back, totally get it. Look, these lads, it was a collective performance today. That is why we've only came out with a draw. And when you highlight them individually, you can look at it and say it's a bit unfair. But once again, he didn't have the beating of Cash. I think, did Ashley Young play out right back at one point?
May well have done.
He struggled as well.
He did. I thought he struggled in midweek. I've actually been impressed with him since he came back. I think you're always worried when a player's out for that long that will the injury take the toll on their body. Like, Torres, for example, never was the same after his knee injuries. I think I've seen enough from Diaz since he came back to know that that's not going to be the case, and especially with a full pre-season, it is going to be actually a full pre-season this time. We are going to see the best of Luis Diaz this season, but I think to be honest, you can say more or less the same thing about everyone. Nobody created the chance, nobody provided the moment magic. We had a lot of the ball. Diaz, like other players, saw a lot of the ball but couldn't produce it, and he was no worse than anyone else, but he was no better than anyone else.
No, exactly. What are you giving him?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Cody Gakpo, once again, back to it. Thought he was much better when he was on the half turn at left centre mid, to be perfectly honest. I thought towards the end of the game he was the one who was trying to really drag us over the line. He was the one who really looked up for it. He gets the goal, which, whether it's wrongfully or rightfully given offside, I'm not sure. He does get that goal. He gets us several fouls in the last couple of minutes, which we don't convert anything from. I thought he was alright, to be honest.
Don't mind Operation Anfield exercise there in the background. I thought Gakpo actually struggled today, and I think that's going to happen when you play a false 9 and you don't sort of get things right around him. If he's dropping into the space in front of 2 centre halves and behind 2 defensive midfielders, then ultimately there's going to be players coming at him from everywhere, and he still managed to win a few fouls, so he should have had a few more fouls, but that's the referee, which is ready.
Do you think he played better at left centre mid when he moved? Because he had the freedom for me then.
Possibly. He got on the ball and he advanced with it, but I still don't think he did an awful lot with it, and I was a little bit disappointed, and I am a huge Cody Gakpo fan.
There was a couple of ones where Firmino's come up top or Jota and he's fed them in, but none of them relate to the ball that he's done because they've not played with him, obviously. Well, Firmino very much hasn't.
Do you know what I will say, and you'll be shocked to hear me say this? Actually,
Are you going to say he's not good?
Who?
Are you going to say Cody Gakpo is not good?
No, I think he's brilliant, but
then I'm not surprised.
I think we could have done with Darwin Núñez for 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, I am actually surprised at that. Oh well. Moving on to the subs then, James Milner, I thought he was boss when he came on. Aside from that one cross he did, that went straight to the goalkeeper, I thought he put himself about, he won us fouls, he won the ball back. Just James Milner all over.
Yeah, the one cross is sticking in my mind though because it was dreadful. He did win the ball back a couple of times and did really well and put himself about, and certainly wasn't exposed in midfield whatsoever. I think Firmino got a far more of a rapturous ovation because he's got the better song.
Yeah.
But I think Milner deserves almost as much, not quite as much, but almost as much for what he's given for the club. You know, he's been such a great servant for us and played in so many positions. Remember that year we played left back and did so with accomplishment for so much of the season and ended up getting us in the Champions League for the going into the Kiev season. And I just think we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him around the dressing room. But what a career he's had and what a career he's getting to Liverpool. I think he's been at Liverpool more than any other club at this point. So 6 out of 10. But I can't get the cross out of my head. Sorry, James.
Yeah, that's true. We'll go over the next couple quite quickly. Harvey Elliott, hardly seen anything of him, to be perfectly honest. He does not like to use his right foot either. Just constantly on the left. He didn't really have a lot of time though.
I think with Harvey Elliott, you can see, and it's brilliant to see, that he loves the support. He's always the last one round. Away games, home games, whether we've won, lost or drawn, he's always the last one applauding the fans. But I think he's got this thing in his head because he is a Liverpool supporter that he wants to be the hero in every single moment. And at times, you know, we had the ball just outside the box, could have picked a pass, he's trying to curl it into the top corner. And I'm just not really sure he has that in his locker, to be honest. Last couple of years, I've not really seen it from him. You know what I mean? It seems...
No. The best word is Bobby Firmino. I know.
Nice one, lads.
Who were we talking about?
Harvey Elliott.
I think
Rate him, honestly.
6.
Yeah, that explains it. I don't have the energy in me. Costas, he had about 7 corners in a row and hit the first man every time. 4.
5.
My God. Diogo Jota, thought he was actually fairly alright when he came on, to be fair.
That's nice to finish on this. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I've got the ball in good areas a couple of times. Honestly, I like him on the left. I do like him. I actually would have played him on the left today as well after Diaz performance midweek. I would have played him. I think that was a mistake not to. I would have brought him on earlier as well because when the game does get scrappy, he is the one that can get you the goal. Thought he played well. Thought he put the feelers up there a couple of times and scared them a little bit. I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and finally, that's not to us. Finally, then, it was just magical. It was written, wasn't it, for him? Bobby Firmino comes on the pitch and does all he can, and it's a Bobby Firmino goal. It's a poacher's goal. It's brilliant. Boss from him.
I mean, if we're going to throw the top 4 away today, we've probably done it in the best possible way because we've ultimately drawn, which is a result which does preclude us from the European Cup next season. We've done it in a way. We've scored an 89th minute equaliser from the player, the legend. He spent 8 years at this club and has been fantastic and has won everything with us. Absolutely super. Lovely finish, not an easy finish either. No. It's a great ball from Mo, and what a way to send off. And hopefully, I know we're both going down to Southampton next week. Hopefully, we can get one more. I mean, we have to start him now in Southampton, don't we? We have to.
Might as well. But we've got nothing to play for. Exactly. Nice one for listening. Nice one for tuning in for the entire season. It's not the end result we wanted, but don't worry, we will be back next year. Also, coming this summer, we have a Firmino documentary saying thank you, remembering his memories. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. That's over on Red Men Plus, so do go over there and sign up. I cannot wait to see the full version of that. That's also something to look forward to whilst we wait for the new season to start. But until the next one, up the Reds.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that show. Do you want to get your hands on some amazing Liverpool merchandise? Well, if you become a Red Men Plus Club legend on a yearly subscription, we'll instantly send you 2 merch codes to get you 2 pieces of merchandise from redmenmerch.com. T-shirts are amazing. Go and get yourselves one. Simply become a Red Men Plus Club legend on a yearly subscription and that code will be in your inbox very, very shortly.